The MLB trade deadline is slowly approaching, and many teams are trying to gear up for World Series runs. There's been a lot of buzz on what could go down very, very soon. Sean, you're going to help us figure out what could happen at the MLB trade deadline. Let's start with Tarik Skubal, who's dominated a lot of headlines. A lot of people have been talking about who's going to go get Skubal, who is going to add to their pitching rotation. What do you think is going to happen with him?
What's going to happen is everybody's least favorite development, which I have loathed seeing in the headlines, which is the Dodgers becoming frontrunners for Tarik Skubal. It makes sense. The Dodgers are a very well-liked ball club by players that go there. They treat players right. They develop them in different ways than other teams do. They aren't cheap also. So it's very player-friendly from that standpoint. But for the baseball universe,
Tarik
Skubal going and joining the likes of Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani and the pitching staff that they have already in Los Angeles is I don't know if you will see such a sharp rise in championship odds already from a front runner in championship odds for the year. The Dodgers getting Skubal could be very, very dangerous. Now, they're not the only ones that are out looking for Skubal. The Tampa Bay Rays and Milwaukee Brewers are two climbers this year trying to prevent that from happening. The Rays are legitimate. The Brewers are legitimate. And if they do sign Skubal, we'll have the best pitching staff in baseball, surpassing the Dodgers currently. Those two teams are so in the mix because their farm systems are deep and they have win-now motives. So I think they're willing to sacrifice some of these top position players and a couple other pitchers that they've been working on for the last couple years in order to get Skubal and help rejuvenate the Detroit Tigers. Good God. They have deep pockets in farm system. The Rays have been notably cheap, though. The Brewers are already spending. If I had to rank 1 to 3 most likely to least, it's Dodgers 1, Brewers 2, Rays 3. And then you see your Yankees and your Braves, maybe your Cubs. They've gotten some buzz because their farm system's good, but they only have really 2 or 3 star farm players. But they could be in the mix because they're competitive this year and the Cubs are willing to spend. But it's the Dodgers that are claiming the right now the heat around Tarik Skubal, which is detestable.
Hopefully, for baseball's sake, he goes somewhere where it'd be more exciting to bolster a roster that would be in competition with them. The Rays would be fun because somebody in the AL needs to emerge. And speaking of the AL,
the
Yankees, they need to round out the roster. Who the heck knows what the heck is happening with Judge? But they need a little bit more firepower. Ben Rice has been fun to watch, but outside of him, seems like that they could use a catcher potentially.
Yeah, their current catchers are drawing rave reviews from the pitching staff. Austin Wells has been a stud, but offensively, he hasn't been really making the cut. And they want a righty bat. Our close personal friend, Keith McPherson, has been very vocal on Twitter about saying, sign the catcher now. I saw that one last night. I'm like, okay, he's got the pulse. They need a catcher. And that would be, Joseph, Adley Rutschman, I think, is the player that they would want to sign. It would be a blockbuster signing. The 3-time All-Star going into the pinstripes would be a great fit. First of all, handsome as hell. I think he's clean-shaven also. Probably might have to cut his hair a little bit, even though they've relaxed the policy some. It would be a huge ad. His bat is still solid. He has not had a great year this season. Nobody on Baltimore has. It is a team-wide funk. And you get out of that funk by going from Baltimore to New York City and playing in the Bronx. It happens like that sometimes. Also, the Orioles are unlikely to re-sign Rutschman to a long-term deal. They have a very young catcher that's supposed to be a phenom also. Baseball just, hey, why don't we keep him? He could be this guy. And oh, no, he also could be this guy. It's just so passing the buck down the line in hopes that they could be it's just a small increment better, even though Adley Rutschman is a guy, if he was on the team that I rooted for, I would riot if they did not keep him because of the talent that he holds. And if he went to the Yankees, a team in the same division as the Orioles, I would not pay any money to the Orioles for the next 10 years. But the Yankees operate differently. They spend money. They're also contenders this year. The team is well-rounded. It's not the most likable Yankees team. Jazz Chisholm rubs people the wrong way. Anthony Volpe is terrible defensively. But they get by, and they keep on winning games, and they've got good arms in the starting rotation and in the bullpen. I've heard them being linked a little bit to Mason Miller as a closer. I don't think they need to make that push, but it's the Yankees. They can't help themselves. It's Adley Rutschman, I think, is the big play that they're going to make.
Now, the latest other hot name in terms of pitchers, Hunter Greene seems to be possibly on the market. Is he going to get moved, and where do you think he's going to go?
Yeah, Buster Olney has it as a 50-50 shot as of today of him being moved. The Reds' key ace starter, Hunter Greene, is an absolute force on the mound. And if Skubal wasn't going this year, it'd be Greene taking all the phone calls, and it would be all the buzz around him. Who's going to get this flamethrower? He had an awesome 2024. He had an awesome 2025. He's been hurt most of this year, but the potential is there. He is a possible true ace to bring in. I think the Brewers or the Braves, anybody that doesn't get in on the Skubal signing, they're immediately on the phone saying we got to get Greene. We have to. If we missed out on the big horse, we need Hunter Greene on our team to save our season. The Braves want to pair him with Chris Sale. The Brewers want to pair him anywhere in their staff. He could fit wherever. He's got the talent to round out the season, get fresh right before the playoffs start. His numbers this year are not great. If a team is unknowledgeable, fans of a team that sign him are know-nothings, they will see his numbers this year and say, why did we spend this much money? What did we trade away from this guy? And you know what you're going to see? You're going to see clutch playoff wins and a guy that is ready to go and make a deep run, especially for your team. Also, get out of Cincinnati. That's just a good tip for me to any player in Cincinnati right now. I know they were hotter at the beginning of the year. Just get out. They're not ready to win. They're just not. They've had stars. They've had guys roll through there, and they can't ever really build upon it. And I think it's an ownership issue. So if Hunter Greene can be on the move, I think my prediction would be the Braves.
Folks, do us a favor. Comment below what moves you want to see happen before the MLB Trade Deadline, or when the MLB Trade Deadline hits. Hit the like button on this video so you don't miss out on, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Also, go on over to the sportsgeek.com and pre-register for the Sports Geeks Beat the Geek contest for this upcoming NFL season. We'll talk to you folks later. Enjoy the rest of your week.